Welcome. My name is Abby Marsh, and I'm the Executive Director of the Life Crisis Center. We'd like to introduce you to our Why campaign. This campaign is a campaign to focus on domestic violence and shifting the focus from the victim to the abuser. Frequently, we see in language a tendency to focus on the victim and ask, why does she stay? Instead of focusing on the abuser and asking, why does he abuse? This series of videos by our Life Crisis Center staff will attempt to address some of the many reasons why a victim may stay. Domestic violence is a pattern of coercive, controlling behavior that can include physical assault, psychological or emotional abuse, sexual abuse, or financial abuse. There are many reasons why a victim may not leave. This is why we challenge you to shift the focus, have a better understanding of why a victim may stay, and stop asking that question and ask, why does the abuser abuse?
It's estimated that 4 million children in America every day see, hear, and experience the aftermath of domestic violence. They see their mother beaten, they hear the screams, they hear the breaking glass, they hear the thud of furniture, and they see the aftermath. They see the bruises, they see the tears, and they feel the atmosphere change in their homes. How does domestic violence make a child feel? Children experiencing domestic violence feel fear. They're living in a war zone. They're worried. They blame themselves. What are the effects on children who live with domestic violence? Children who are living in this environment become depressed. They have trouble concentrating, and hence their school performance often suffers. They're angry, and they hurt themselves, and sometimes they hurt other people. When children who've been exposed to domestic violence grow up, they are at a much higher risk of becoming addicted to substances. They are also at a significantly higher risk of engaging in criminal conduct. So you ask, well, why doesn't the woman leave? Why doesn't she take her children and leave? There are so many reasons why that is a cruel choice for a woman. First of all, there is a great deal of family and cultural pressure that is put on a woman. There is a desire to have an intact relationship and to have a father figure in the home. Work it out. God hates divorce. He's your ride or die. You can't leave him. Another really significant pressure on women is the fear of losing children. Very often the abuser will have said, you can leave, but you're not taking my children. Or, if you try to leave me, you'll never see your children again. Or, if you leave, I'll kill us all. Or, if you leave, you're not going to have any way to support the children. I'll get custody of them and you'll never see them again. I think one of the most compelling fears when you have children and you're living with abuse is that when you think about where you're going to go, you fear homelessness and you fear having to put your children into a situation where they're living in poverty. Very often, one of the most effective tools that abusers use is creating financial dependence on the part of the abuse victim. And therefore, it's a very realistic fear. If I leave, where am I going to sleep tonight? And most mothers, if they have to choose between taking a beating or making their children homeless, they are going to take that beating. Further, an abuser often creates great social isolation with the victim, estranges them from family and friends who could provide support or shelter. And then there are the emotional factors. I have heard from many clients when they're contemplating action and trying to leave an emotionally abusive situation or a physically abusive situation, I didn't have a father growing up. I don't want to do that to my child. Or he's abusive to me, but he only hits me, he doesn't hit the children. Or they say, after he's knocked their teeth out or given them a black eye, but he's a good dad even if he's a bad partner to me. It's worth reflecting on this. even if a child is not also being abused, there is great psychological harm when abuse is being perpetrated on the mother. The father is imparting a lesson to his daughter that love hurts, that if you love someone, you're going to stay with them, even if they injure you, even if they demean you, even if they threaten you. And the father is imparting to his son the message that love requires you to dominate and control your partner. And another consideration is in a domestic violence situation with a mother who's trying to survive the abuse and a father who's focused on trying to control the mother, neither partner has much left emotionally to give to children. So children can grow up with a sense of emotional neglect. I think one of the biggest factors in staying in a relationship or delaying leaving when you have children is the feeling that you're alone. Most abusers are pretty good at convincing their partners that no one is going to help, no one's going to hear you, no one's going to believe, and you need to stay here. But I want you to know that Life Crisis Center can help. Life Crisis Center can shelter you and your children. We have wonderful counselors. We have a legal department that can help you address custody and visitation issues, can help you get financial support, and can keep him away from you and help you be safe. Life Crisis Center can help you.
Thank you for taking the time to educate yourself about domestic violence through Life Crisis Center's series of videos in the Why campaign. We hope that you will take this information back into the community and you will help shift the focus back to where it belongs, on the abuser. If you're a victim of domestic violence, or even if you have questions about whether you're a victim of domestic violence, you can contact Life Crisis Center at 410-749-HELP. That's 410-749-4357.